There are kids who may never read for enjoyment. They may never go, let me sit down and pick up a book and read. I am one of those people. That's how I know they exist. However, I will listen to audiobooks all day long. In fact, I do. I listen to audiobooks obsessively. So I don't even start teaching to read until about age 7. And then I really give them between ages 7 and 9 to be able to become a fluent reader. And I do this by several different apps and reading books with them. And given the amount of curriculums that I have used over the last 20 years, I will say that none of them come even close to me sitting down and reading with a child as they go through word by word pointing. It is by far the most time consuming and the one that will make you want to rip your hair out. However, it worked just as well with my traditional readers as it did with my dyslexic readers. Now, only one of my 3 dyslexic children enjoys reading. The other ones enjoy audiobooks. They do their best to get around reading to the best of their ability. And quite frankly, that's okay. If they have the tools to get around whatever it is that they have to read, they're free to do that. They have the ability to read, which was what was important to me. However, if they want to circumvent it and find it in a more accessible way, they're welcome to. Especially if that's going to help their comprehension, which in both cases, it truly does. It's kind of like the idea of, can they? Absolutely. Should they? Maybe not. But the biggest thing to do with a reluctant reader is teaching them to fall in love with a story. And this is big competition when we live in the world of screens and engaging cartoons and fun apps. One of the ways that I've done this is with the YWAM biographies. It's YWAM biographies. And they're by Janet and Jeff Benj, and you can find them on Audible. You can get them online. But for the actual books, I would read my kids a chapter a night. And you get no more than 1 chapter. Sorry. Why did I tell them they get no more than 1 chapter? Because that made them think they were missing out on something, and that made them pay more attention. Wait, I only get 1 chapter? Why do I only get 1 chapter? Because kids always want what they can't have. It's not manipulation. It's playing the game right. And it worked. Now, I like biographies because you're teaching them about real life people. You're teaching them about the mistakes that people have made when they've actually been extremely successful, and they can see that it basically takes 10 times you're making a mistake until you get to 1 success, and that's the ratio, so they don't feel as bad about their failures, especially if they're not doing well with reading. Again, you want to show them how to overcome things, how to overcome obstacles. EQ is just as important as IQ. Now, this could work in as little as a week. It could work in as much as a year, but eventually it will work because ultimately you're just teaching them that they need to love a story and that the stories that capture their imagination are not in competition with the stories that capture them on a screen. These are 2 different types of entertainment. They're not in competition with each other. They're both valid. They're both using people's gifts. They're both expressing creativity, and they're both a place that we can be entertained. So often we pit them against each other, but in reality, they're no different than somebody drawing with a pencil versus watercolor. Different mediums create different types of art. I would also not move them beyond basic readers until they're really, really ready. We move beyond basic picture books to chapter books way too fast. Picture books may hold their attention more, and it teaches them the beauty of short story.